Today we're in a 2004 Yukon. This would also apply to the Chevy Tahoe or the Silverado. And we have an aftermarket radio that was getting a little bit sketchy, like it would lose power periodically. And now finally it seems to have no power. So we have to track down where the power loss is. So we try to turn it on. We're not getting any kind of response. We do know that the car has power because it starts fine. And we have the key in the on position where we should get the radio response, but nothing's happening. So first thing we'll do is we'll just check the fuse located right here in the front area underneath the hood. I'm going to pop the hood. Get up here in the front, and we're going to get to this probably the easiest fuse box for the whole truck. Right here, you lift it up. And if we look, we can see it says radio. Let's check that fuse. So it's a 15 amp fuse. It says radio right here. Look at the diagram. We have these three 15s. So it's going to be that one. So we're going to use a fuse puller. We'll just use some needle nose pliers. Wiggle and pull up on that fuse and just see if there's anything obvious. The fuse looks to be intact. You can see the filament is not broken, but you could use a multi-tester. You can set it for continuity, and then when it senses that there is current that can flow through the fuse, you should hear a beep. We'll make sure that it's got current flowing through it. That sounds good. You can also test these if you have a multi-tester by just pressing in on the top right there and right there so we can hear it. So the fuse is good, so we have to look at maybe a secondary fuse that lives behind that aftermarket radio, and it's pretty easy to get to, so we'll go check that next. Back inside the Yukon, we're just going to pull off this trim piece here. We're going to grab it up at the top, pull it toward us, pull a little bit here on the front top part, and pull here, and we have the gear shift lever in the way, so you can turn it key forward. You can put the brake on, bring the gear shift lever down as low as it'll go. It kind of gets it out of the way, so you're more able to get this thing off. So it comes out and up. Now we can see that the aftermarket radio is being held in by, looks like I think it's a 1/4 inch screw here and here. So we'll pull those out, and then we'll pull the unit out, look behind it. This model, we're just zipping out 2 7mm bolts that are holding in the radio. And I think there's probably a fuse behind this radio. Alright, this is made by Pile. This is a PLDNB78I. Pretty cool. It's been a good unit for us. So pull this out carefully, look behind it. Yeah, there's a fuse here. Let's check out, see how that one's doing. I think we can pull out this modular piece here. Pull out this cable, pull out the antenna lead, wiggle, pull back. That out of there. There we go. Okay, that one's out. Let's get this one out. Let's squeeze in on this tab at the top. Pull that out. Okay. So this one's probably fine, but the fuse behind it, I'm guessing is blown, which would be this one in this case. Let's take a look at that one. So we're going to open up this little fuse case. There's a fuse. Let's see how that one's doing. These are a little fuse tester. So when we test for continuity on this inline fuse, you should be able to hear it. Yeah, we can hear it. So that fuse is actually good. We're going to look for another source of the power problem. So I got a loose power wire somewhere. I got it hooked back up, got the key in the almost to the run position. When I move the radio around, it's cutting out. So I'm going to look for which wire it is. Okay, good power now. Just going to wiggle these wires to see if one of these is the troublemaker. This is the orange one, which could be power. Here's this guy, power. This one looks suspicious. Power. There's the ground connection here. All these have to be intact, but wiggling them around doesn't seem to do anything. Most of these are just for like the different speakers. Still have power. Just lost it there for a sec. So it seems like when I wiggle around this yellow one, I'm getting the power going on and off. So I think that's my culprit. So I think it's this yellow one. Looks pretty good where it comes into the modular connector. And it's the fuse box. I imagine that would be a good, that looks like a pretty good connection there. Where it connects here needs to be improved. Let's see if we can make that better. So we're going to redo that connection. We have the yellow one from the radio going into the orange power wire. Get that in position. We're going to crimp it really tight with a crimping tool. Alright, we'll test it to see if now we have reliable power. Before I put it all back together, I'll just give it a little test. Plug back in the modular connector on the back. Turn the key on. Yeah, so it fired up. Let's put the pieces back together. So this is for the radio. Put the antenna lead back in. Get it nice and tight. Okay. Nice and deep. Yep. Looking good. Goes on here. Got it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and push this back in. Check these lines. Okay. Going in there pretty good. Alright. Let's see if it still turns on. Okay. Looks good. We'll go ahead and put those screws back in. So the radio is doing good. We're going to put our foot on the brake. We're going to bring this down. Give yourself room. Put this thing back. Push it down here first. Line it up. Make sure these wires are out of the way. down inside that cavity. Okay, I'm gonna make sure this lines up right here. Goes in that hole. Got it. Check the other alignments. Here's one right here. That one in there. Looks good. Turn off hazard lights. Okay, click that one in. Top in. I have this one a little better. All right, we got it. So we can hear a funny noise coming from this step motor. It's kind of like branka, 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 branka. Thunk, 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 thunk. Sometimes you'll hear them up here. Thunk, 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 thunk. Sometimes back there. Thunk, 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 thunk. Those are the little step motors that are controlling airflow by moving a door. And if you get that going on, could mean that you need to replace that step motor, which isn't too difficult, but you could try this reset first. The other symptom you may have that this reset will work for is if you're asking for cold, but maybe you have maybe hot like this, hot like this, and rather than having hot coming out of here and hot coming out of here, you have hot coming out of here, but maybe cold coming out of here. That means that door is just kind of mixed up. So the reset makes the computer able to talk with the step motors again, and it calibrates them. So the way that we can do the reset is we'll go ahead and just turn off the key. We're going to go up in the front. We're going to pull one of the fuses. So you pull this off. Your fuse box is in the front, and you can look for one that says HVAC/ECAS. It's a 10 amp. Use your little map here to help you find it. So it's this one right here. So I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to just give it a full minute, and then I'll put it back in. Give it a full minute. We'll go ahead and put that one back in. Make sure it's all the way seated. Put our top back on. We're going to go back inside the car. Alright, we're going to turn this key on to that position right before where it's ready to start the engine. And we're going to wait about 5 minutes. You're going to hear some rumbling around down here, over there. In the back, those are all the step motors in the whole car recalibrating. Sounds like it's probably done, but I'll wait the full 5 minutes. I can hear a little bit of action still going on down here. And then I'm just going to start the car all the way, let the engine run for a minute, and then shut it off. I can still hear some motion down here in this step motor trying to calibrate. So the computer's pushing the door all the way to one full open position, and then bringing it all the way back. And if you can get the calibration done, you should end up with no more weird problems with calling for heat but getting cold, or calling for cold and getting heat. Or with this guy too, moving this around to the different positions, it should just go right to where it's supposed to go. Alright, we're going to go ahead and turn it back on. So I'm making sure these are all blowing cold air, because I'm asking for cold. Those seem good, nice and cold. Try moving the air around. That's good. Try the feet only. Yep, that's good. Frost. So that seems good. I'm going to try the heat now. So go up for both stations. Go up for this one. Okay, I got hot air right away. Hot air. This is after the truck is warmed up. Hot air. And hot air. All right. So I don't have that clinking sound anymore after the reset. Turn off this fan. It's just silent. So that's a good trick. Pretty easy to do. It's just you pulling that fuse, waiting a full minute, put the fuse back in, turn the key to the position right before the car is about to start, and wait about 5 minutes, and you'll hear all these different step motors going through their full calibration, turning all the way. And then the computer learns where they are and learns how to control them. It takes about 5 minutes, and then you can turn the engine on for about a minute, turn it off, and you're done. And it should cure a lot of those problems like that weird ticking, or where you're asking heat, you're getting cold, or asking cold and getting heat. And hopefully that'll help you. So thanks for watching, and hope you guys can subscribe to our channel. I'd like to announce our new channel membership. By joining, you're going to get some really good perks. Number one, you're going to get live help whenever you need it on your appliance problems, either by text, email, FaceTime, Zoom, whatever you want to get your appliance problem resolved. I'll be able to get you any kind of parts diagrams that you need. I'll get you really good deals on parts. I'll send links to you so you can order them and get them probably by the next day to fix your appliance. And all this is only for $4.99. So that'll save you quite a bit of money. And the whole goal of becoming a member with me is that it's going to give you a chance to save a lot of money on the types of appliance repairs that we all run into on a yearly basis. So thanks so much, and please click on the link in the description below, and that's going to allow you to join our channel